Hi guys, and welcome to yet again another video. Thank you so much for clicking on this channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a little story time for you guys. The title probably already says it all, so let's just get into this video. But before we do, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel as well as hit that notification bell so you will be notified the next time I post a video. So this whole thing happened. I was coming back from a turn up with a couple of friends. They had just dropped me off at my apartment. At the time, I wasn't living at home. I was still living in an apartment in the CBD. I think I've told a story about me living in a CBD apartment before, but that's not what we hear about. So you can imagine, Guti, baby girl was a bit if you know, you know. So I'm coming up the elevator and obviously elevator opens, and then as I'm stepping into the pathway, or I don't know, walkway, pathway, I don't know what you call, or the corridor. Is it a corridor? Yeah. As I'm walking into the corridor, I see this dude. I'm that type of person, guys. Like, I am like a rat, literally. Like, I follow one path. I am antisocial for the most part. Guys, like, that dude could have been my neighbor for like forever, but I probably wouldn't have even known, because like I don't know, it's just like, well, once I put in my earphones, throw on my shades, he's standing not directly in front of my door, but then it's like not too far. Like, I could roughly say he was standing in front of my neighbor's door or the other neighbor's door, but it was more like in between my immediate neighbor and my other neighbor type of situation from the way it looked. Okay, cool. So more reason for me to try to act cool and act like I'm okay, because baby girl was a messed up. I'm walking to my door and we make eye contact with this dude. Eye contact Njenyana, and we do that little like head nod greet type of thing, and it's whatever. I turn, face my door. Now I'm trying to open my door. Hello guys, I can't seem to get my key into the keyhole. I'm fiddling to a point where, guys, if you were anyone else, like even that dude, you would probably think I was at the wrong apartment. Like, it was just me, like, going that was me. So I'm trying my hardest to act all cool, act like, hey, baby girls got this, and I can see him like in my peripheral view. We'll say, this dude is turning around. So as he's turning, he then says, can I help you? And luckily, before he can even finish his sentence, the key was already shook inside the keyhole, and I was turning it, and I was just like, nah, it's cool, thanks. I opened the door, got in, closed the door behind me. I got into bed. When I got into bed, immediately, guys, like 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds later, I started feeling sick, like throw up type of sick. I started feeling sick, and I thought to myself, you know what, let me just get up so I can sleep peacefully, and because like I'm still gonna toss and turn for a couple of minutes, and the last thing I need is to find myself in a situation where now it's too heightened that as soon as I try to get up, it's yeah. So I get up, I go to the bathroom. As soon as I get into the bathroom, I feel fine, I feel sharp. And I'm like, you know what? The way it was so heightened, it's probably gonna come back. So let me just induce the... So I induce it, see, okay, cool, fine. Then I go back to bed. I get into my bed. Guys, my bed started like swinging. Hey, guys, my bed literally was like, I don't know if y'all know a swing boat, but like Durbanites, they know swing boat. They know like mangumang machine, yase, beach. swing boats. That's how my bed felt. It got to a point where I was literally, guys, no joke, I was literally holding onto the edge of my bed on some like and you know the crazy part, I told myself, Gutsy, no baby girl, it's all in your head. It is all in your head. It's all in your head, it's all in your head. But then I'm the type of person, like, I don't want to derail, but I'm the type of person that I'm able to notice even when I'm dreaming. Ukuthi, I know, man, I'm dreaming. And then, I can either wake myself up or I can have somewhat control of the direction in which the dream, goes. So I know how to tell myself, Ukuthi, it's all in my head. I'm hallucinating or I'm dreaming or I'm what. Guys, literally like a minute went by me trying to convince myself it's all in my head, all in my head, but I was still feeling this, and I was trying to get all scientific, telling my brain on some like, baby girl, you're too heavy for your bed to be, rocking like this and jay. Like I was trying, I was like, yo. I was 2 seconds from screaming, but then in my head I'm like, wait, I have a cupboard that's like right against my bed, ne? So, what is this now? I have a cupboard that's right against my bed, but this cupboard is not moving. It's not even making a sound. It is just my bed. But then the way my bed is moving, or the way it feels like it's moving, it's as if, guys, it is swinging, like swingy, like a swing, like swing boats. So I was just like, you know what, let me get up, let me sit up, like, nah, let me sit up. And it wasn't even like I was feeling dizzy. Get up, even getting up was an issue. I was getting up on some, type of. So I got up, I sat up, and I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and I just started feeling hot. I experienced a hot flash, like, so I was like, you know what, let me crack some windows open, umoya do luto zilch zero. And I'm like, oh, what type of life is this? And at this point, it's not even like a hot flash where I'm like sweating and I'm like super wet, and but it just feels like my body is just going woo 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 woo, and I'm just like, okay, let me try and go and stand outside, and I get up, I open the door because I wanted to know, I wanted not even to know, but I wanted to plan, okay, fine, if it is that he's still standing there, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm going to another apartment, because I really, like, something in my spirits is just telling me this dude is dodge. So I see okay, he's gone, cool. So I get out, guys, I feel the breeze. By the way, I felt the breeze when I was going into my apartment. So when I opened my windows, I realized ukuthi shuthi umoya is coming from the other side of the building. So obviously ngapha ngeke uzuze uqhamuke yabo. So I decided to go out and stand by the corridor, and obviously baby girl is, and I decided I'm gonna just sit. There was a staircase not too far from my door, so I close the door behind me and I sit on the stairs. Yo guys, that breeze. So I feel a little breeze, guys. So a point where now I even close my eyes for a couple of seconds. You know when a breeze smacks? When a breeze smacks and you just cannot help but close your eyes. So I closed my eyes. Couple of seconds, literally like not even a minute. Couple of seconds, I opened them. Jesus! What dude is back? Okay. And yeah, we are guys, like he's looking at me weird. And at this point I'm thinking, okay, should I just get up and pretend to walk somewhere else? And I'm just like Okay. So I'm sitting, and then he then starts talking to me. Ne, small talk, nyana, um, long nights, hey, na. I'm like, not really, Jay, yabo, because I don't wanna confirm any suspicions that he might be having, yabo. Like I don't wanna be the one to confirm, Nguti, yabo. Yeah. So he's like, long nights, hey. I'm like, not really, to be honest. It's more just me being tired, like it's been a long day actually, not even a long night. It's more a long day. And he's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, so like why can't you fall asleep? I'm like, yo, it's a bit too humid inside. Nah, nah, da 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 da, yabo. And then he's like, yeah, it's humid also. That's why I'm also, going in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm like, oh, okay. Huh. So now in my head, I'm thinking, okay, that kind of makes sense then. Go to why he's standing outside, you know. So at this point, me and this dude are now having serious small talk, guys. Like we're having, a full blown conversation, but it's not like anything heavy, anything hectic. It's just like giggle here and there, giggle here and there. So cool. It gets to a point where now Uduru, mind you me, and it's in the AM name. So it gets to a point where Udud gets like he comes closer to where I was sitting. He comes closer because like we can't necessarily be shouting, across the corridor. So he keeps coming closer, 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 and he's standing at a comfortable distance from me, but then it's close enough that I can use my normal talking voice, like pitchy and volume is like yabo, and not have to be like yabo. So we're chilling, 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 talking, 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 and like the worst case of munchies just befall me at this point. So cool. I'm like ish ne, stupid of me. Like why did I go like ish, like ish, like I literally said ish, like I didn't feel like ish, I literally said ish. And then he's like, how, like, what's up? I'm like, yo bro, like I've got the worst case of munchies.
Will you keep quiet?
Ask me why I told him that. Like, guys, dude is like, why don't you get snacks, from your place? I'm like, yo, I don't have any snacks. I don't even have bread at my place at this point. And he's like, well, let's go downstairs and go get you something, at the shop downstairs. And I'm like, Aibo guy, have you seen the time, like they way 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 closed by now. Like it's the next day, literally they probably preparing to open rather than preparing to close. And he was like, no, I actually went past there a couple of minutes ago and they were open and it didn't look like they were about to close anytime soon. So I'm like, are you sure? And he's like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, if you say so, like, it's whatever. Ne? And another disclaimer, guys, my area is super, 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 super safe. Like, super. Like, man, it's super, guys. I'm not exaggerating. Like, it's super safe. Like, we had, like, at the area, like, patrol, security, like, J short distance you'd be walking and you'd pass maybe like boma 3 to 4 security guards. Like the worst thing that could happen was for someone to try and snatch your phone, but if you scream, like those security dudes are already pouncing, on that person. And it was raining and I tell him, okay, let me go grab my jacket. So I go back into my I go back into my apartment and then I grab my jacket, I grab some coins, and I come out and we leave. We left, fine, cool, get to the shop, and when I get to the till, I took a packet of chips, I bought the big Simba cheddars, and I think some peanuts. But then I remember the Simba cheddars, like precisely because like it's my go-to snack, like nje, on a good or on a bad day, literally. So I got to the till, and then dude is like, no, I'll pay for it, And I'm like, nah, dude, I brought some, I brought some cash. And he's like, no, it wouldn't be a gentleman of me if I let you pay. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so dude probably wants some of these chips, but it's whatever. It's a big packet. We can share. I won't share. It's so cool, fine. We leave and we go back. We sit in the same place that I was sitting. He's standing not too far from me, and I open the chips. I offer them to him, and then he's like, "No, I'm fine. They're yours." And I'm like, "How? Okay, thanks." We carry on talking, small talky, and now he's telling me Uguti, he's actually visiting. It gets to a point where he now asks for my number, and I'm just like, yo, bro, like, no offense, but like, I don't know you like that to be giving you my, cell phone number. The best I can do is I can give you like maybe like I can add you on Facebook or something like that, but like my personal number, I brought like, hey. And then he's like, oh, no, I understand, it makes sense, and I'm like, okay, so what's your username, wada. And then he's like, no, guys, I forgot. Like, I've been trying to think, I'm trying to remember what he said his username was or his name was. Like, I've been like, as I was prepping to actually sit down and film this video, I was trying to remember, but I can't. Like, I can't. Like, even if someone was to say the name right now, I probably wouldn't be on some, no, like, I can't. Like, it's just gone. Like, it's gone. And I'm like, okay. And then two contacts pop up, and I'm like, which one is yours? And then he points, and then I'm like, okay, cool. So I try to add him, and I add him. Cool. I'm like, okay, I've added you. And then he's like, okay, no, that's cool. My phone is actually inside in the charger. So I'm like, he's gonna accept me in like as soon as he gets back into. And I'm just like, okay, nah, that's cool. So we're chilling. And I'm starting to feel sleepy now at this point, guys. Like I did mention, Wootsie, it's very early in the AMs. Like it is so early. It has stopped being I am out late, or like even if I go to sleep now, it wouldn't be a matter of I slept late, it will be I slept early. Like it is so deep into the next day at this point. I think I could have stopped considering it late. Like it was starting to get into the early section of the day. So I'm like, yo, bro, I'm so tired now at this point, to be honest. Like I'm about to doze off any moment. Like I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm paying attention to what you're saying anymore. Like I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Like, and guy ne, guy is on some, hi, why you have to go, why you have to go. I'm like, dude, I have to sleep. I have to sleep. It is late, early type of late, and he's like, oh, why. I'm like, dude, like it's not like we are meeting at, like, when you meet someone at the mall in the aisles, and it's like you're never gonna meet them again, and you sort of share that moment, and I'm like, it's not that. Like we're probably gonna see each other again. Like I live here, and like that's good enough, to know, Uzi, we can still see each other again. Like there's no reason for me to sit here, like, there's really no reason. And he's like, but, and I'm like I'm literally falling asleep as you're talking. I don't know if, like, I'm getting a bit hostile at this point as well, to be honest. And I'm just like, hey bro, like, yeah, won't you? I'm getting a bit pissed off, to be honest. And because in my head I'm like, just because of a packet of chips, like in my head game, that's what I said. Like I'm thinking, like this guy, just because of a packet of chips, he thinks now he can dictate whether, I can go to sleep or not. Like that's just where my mind is going. And at this point, I'm just getting, I'm getting a bit irritated because I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, what's what forward umuntu yabonje. Like you don't know me like that to tell me, Wuti, how wow, see a lot of njalo. But anyways, he's like, I'm like, bruh, I can even see you tomorrow. Like, if it's such a big deal, like, I can, like, you know? And he's like, you might not see me tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, so you're leaving? And he's like,
No, but you might not see me tomorrow.
okay, maybe the next day. And he's like,
You might not see me, Jay.
you might, yeah, well. And I'm like, bro, we'll talk. Like, I've added you on Facebook. We'll DM each other and we'll see. We'll make a plan. Because, like, I am asleep. I'm literally asleep. And then he's like, well, okay then. Because, you won't be able to talk to me anyways if you're asleep. So it makes no use wanting me, for you to stay here. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. I just realized Uti was, being, yeah. But anyways, so I get back into my place, I sleep, and next day I wake up, not next day, but like a couple of hours later, I wake up and,
Headache.
first of all, so I get up, I go into my phone just to check Uti, has he accepted my request, I check Umchida is nowhere to be found. Like on my phone, he is nowhere to be found. Like on my Facebook, I search, I search for him, and like he's not popping up. It's as if like it's either he has blocked me or his profile never existed, or like he probably deleted his profile. But like at this point in time, I do not have access to him. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, so he must have like got pissed off and blocked me. It's whatever. So in my head, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he's so childish. But then I actually wanted to prove Uguti, did he really do this? Because like I want Uguti, if he comes back to his senses on some, like,
Hey,
be like, So I created another account just so I can be able to search and see whether or not he actually blocked me or what's the story. Create another account, set it up, and I search for him. Okay, that's weird. And as I'm sitting, I then realized, wait, I had my jacket on before I came into bed the second time, when I was coming, like the coming into bed. I don't remember taking it off. And mind you, me guys, I'm someone, what is this? I am someone who, even if, I'm like white boy wasted, I remember like the little details. I will remember whether or not I switched off, the light. I will remember whether or not I closed the door, whether or not, I closed the curtains, or I remember the little details. I will remember whether or not I plugged my phone into the charger. For me to not remember taking off my jacket and having it be in my wardrobe, guys, it would have been something else if maybe, my jacket was on the side of the bed, because then I know I probably woke up in the middle of my sleep and I took it off because maybe I was too, uncomfortable, or I was feeling hot and I literally threw it on the side of the bed. But it is in a coat hanger, on a coat hanger, in the wardrobe. I know myself. I would have remembered that. Like, there's no if ands or maybe it's about it. Like I know, nje, regardless of in whatever state I might have been in. So I found that to be very awkward, and I'm just like, okay, super oaks. So I get out of bed, and as I turn to put on my slippers, my socks are hella dirty. Like walking in puddles type of hella dirty. Like walking with my socks on the ground in the road, on the road type of hella dirty. They are feeling rather damp, ne? And I'm thinking to myself, hi boo, hi. And they damp like literally all over. So it couldn't have been what I stepped on, like maybe, you know, like a wet spot in the apartment, ne? I'm thinking if my socks are this damp, maybe my bed is also damp. So I remove my entire duvet cover from my bed, and lo and behold, nangempela, nangempela, there is like a wet spot lapha where my feet were. And I'm just like, hi boo. So basically, Mina, I was literally going into puddles. Like it wasn't even like Uguti, it was a damp spot on the floor. And I'm like, but I remember putting my shoes on, because those are the two things that I put on actually when we went to buy the chips. I remember I put on my jacket and I put on my shoes. I put my shoes back because when I went outside into the corridor to get some, you know, fresh air, I put on my slippers because I thought to myself, ah, vele, I'm gonna be standing like la type of yabo. So when we left to go and get the snacks, I went in, put on my jacket, put on my shoes, and took some coins. And I'm like, I don't remember taking off my shoes. I don't remember taking off my jacket. My socks are wet, as if I was walking barefoot. I'm like, okay, it's whatever. I remove my sheet, put a fresh one, and I do my bed. I get up, I go and make some breakfast. So as I'm making breakfast, I remember I had a packet of chips that I was eating, so I have to look for it before it creates a kokoroshe or a pela or whatever, yabo. So I have to look for it and throw it into the bin. Gosh. I look for it, haibo. I look for it in my jacket pocket or pocket jacket jacket pockets. I look for it in the pocket of my jacket. I look for it under the bed. Like I literally turned my room upside down looking for that packet, and it got to a point where like I was moving things around on some even like my flatmates was asking what's like what's going on. I'm like, bro, I'm looking for a chip packet that I was eating and I can't find it, and I don't want it to, you know, cause like roaches and stuff. And like, did you see it? Did you by any chance maybe throw it away for me? And it's like, she's like, no, I didn't, you know. Like I'm like, ah, okay, hey, maybe I threw it away, but like I didn't notice. But then I'm like, ah, you know, it's whatever. And she's like, yeah, okay, cool. And I'm sitting in bed and I'm thinking, guys, I can't seem to get this thing out of my head. I can't seem to get this thought out of my head. Who's this dude? Like, now that I met this dude, like, odd things are happening that I can't piece together. Like, you know, and I'm just like, you know what, let me just get up and go and try to look for him. You know, maybe he hasn't left. So I go over to my neighbors and I knock. And they open up, and I tell them, "Wuti, I met this guy, ganji, and we exchange number, we exchange contacts, ganji, but I can't seem to find his contacts anymore, and I just wanted to know, Wuti, is he still around?" And they were, maybe you can try next door. And I'm like, well, I live next door. And then the dude was like, well, try, well, not the dude, but the one who opened. He says, then okay, then go try the other next door. So I'm like, yeah, maybe he meant, yeah, well, next door. So cool. I go, nangempela. They open. I tell them exact same story. I met the dude, and they were like, huh? You said who? And I was like, well, they like, nah, maybe next door. I'm like, nah, I just came back from that next door. So yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, it's whatever. He'll pop up maybe when he realizes that I haven't added him or whatever. So it's whatever. It's nothing too serious. They're like, okay, all right, sharp, cool. So I decide to, get some slops on, and I go downstairs to get some bread at the shop, the same shop that I went and bought the chips from. So I get there, and it's like roughly 5ish, 5 past 5, and I can see ukuthi they're preparing to close up shop. And I get in, and when I get to the till, I ask the dude ukuthi, how, what time do you close today, and do you close here? And then he's like, Mondays to Fridays we close at 9. I'm like, Mondays to Fridays you close at 9? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, Saturday and Sunday? He's like, we close at 6. I'm like, dude, stop playing with me. He's like, why would I lie about the time, like our closing time? I'm like, what time did you close on Friday night? He's like, we closed at 9. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm even the one who closed shop by 9:45. I was getting into, my car and, leaving for my apartment, my place and stuff. And I'm like, that's weird. And he's like, why? Like, what's weird? I don't want to say it's me, guys, because honestly I don't want to seem stupid or anything like that. And I actually lied and said I had sent someone. So I said I sent someone to come and buy something for me, and they said they bought it here. And like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. I was shocked myself. And the person like said, like, came twice. Like, at first I was like, I didn't believe the person when they said they passed here and you were open. So I sent them. So when they came for what I had sent them for, it was actually the second time they had come. And it was way past 12 o'clock, like way past. And they were like, hi, that person must have bought whatever it is that you sent them to buy somewhere else. It wasn't here. Maybe they bought it at the garage or something, but it wasn't here. And I'm just like, okay, now cool, it's not a big deal, it's whatever. So I get to my place, and at this point I am panicking. Like, I am getting up the stairs and I am shaking, I am panicking, I am thinking, what happened? And I can't seem to get away from the thought of that dude didn't exist. It was probably a ghost. And after trying to piece everything together, I then decided to tell one of my flatmates, would say, hey bro, like I need you to tell me your honest, perspective of this. Like really be honest with me. I'm just gonna literally narrate everything, and you're gonna have to tell me, what's the first thing that comes to mind, like, about this whole thing, Jay. So I narrate the story from beginning to end. Literally, first thing the person said was, that's a ghost story, stop lying, like, and I'm like, bro, like, I'm not playing with you, like, I'm not playing with you, that's exactly what happened. And they were like, yo bro, that's a ghost story. Until this day I cannot really find any other, like, sort of justification. To be honest, I can't find another justification. Like, I'm at that point where I am gonna have to make peace with the fact that I befriended a ghost. Yeah. So that is it for the story time. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel, as well as hit the notification bell so you will be notified the next time I post a video. So until then, bye.